A little bird told me that the guy behind You Need a Budget doesn't like the word budget. Is that true?
That is absolutely true. Yeah, I think I've spent the last 20 years trying to change the definition of the word. And at this point, I'm ready to wave the white flag. Like I don't want to. I can't. We can't do it. We can't change it. We tried to convince people like, oh, a budget means freedom. A budget means you spend on what you want. A budget means your priorities are lined up with your values. And at the end of the day, when someone hears the word budget, unless they give me at least 5 minutes, they're going to think it's restriction. They're going to think they're going to be cutting back. They're going to think that there's just, I don't know, it just carries a lot of baggage. So we literally are moving away from the name You Need a Budget, and we're just using our acronym. It's YNAB. Yeah, it's YNAB. And if someone asks, I'll tell them the whole story if they want. But I feel like now YNAB stands for You're Not a Budget. That's where,
nice.
So we'll see where that lands. But yeah, 20 years of trying to change the definition of a standard English word, I give up.
I'm setting up my 2024 spending plan. You're not a budget, you're a spending plan. I'm setting that up. How do we make sure that sticks?
When we talk about our 4 rules, our 4 habits, we're trying to get people to think differently about the money. And so what we really want to do is just start to have them do these simple little things. And just no matter what happens, you come back again. So you create the spending plan, whatever that means. That's just this arbitrary line in the sand that's like, oh, I'm done for a moment. And then life starts to happen. Our 3rd habit is, we call it rolling with the punches, but it literally just means, hey, if new information pops up, adjust your plan. And we're mad at, professional coaches when we're armchair quarterbacking and they don't make the right adjustments during halftime or whatever. Or you'll have a coach that makes this killer game plan, studies film, and just is ready, like they've done every preparation possible for this big game. As soon as the ball is hiked or there's the clock starts, as soon as that happens, the coach is immediately ready to adjust. And we would never think otherwise. But for some reason, when we set up our spending plan, we're like chiseling it in stone.
Rigid.
It's the weirdest thing. And we say this often, rigid plans break. Or Mike Tyson said it best, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, And so that probably from our kind of anecdotally from years of people telling us what helped it stick was habit number 3, rolling with the punches. When new information comes, just make adjustments, keep going. I had a little shoulder tweak. I'm working on my lifting, I'm making all this progress. Suddenly my shoulder's hurting. And I talked to my coach and he's like, oh, we'll switch this out. We'll do something different. He was just rolling with the punches. He wasn't saying, well, lifting weights doesn't work now because Jesse has a little, shoulder thing or whatever. So we have to make sure we don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak.
And I like that because that speaks more to, I feel like you have more rules of engagement than like a money diet, right?
Oh, no diet. And the old like latte thing, everyone makes fun of it because they're like, well, you won't make a bunch of money cutting out lattes. And I kind of have started thinking about that different. You have the $5 coffee or whatever. I think we're missing the boat. If you're saying, I'm going to cut that out so I can save money, cool. If you're saying, hey, that doesn't move the needle, it's not a big thing, that's also right, But there's this sweet spot where every time you spend something as nominal as $5, it feels good. And that is, I think, where we were missing between Ramit Sethi, he says a lot of the time, who cares about that? Go for the big stuff. And he's mathematically absolutely correct. And then I think it was Bach originally, not the composer, but David Bach. Bach might have said it too. He was a smart guy, but yeah, David Bach was like, hey, this adds up, especially if you compound it. So he was also right, even mathematically. And where I've landed recently, I just thought, those small things can be something enjoyable. A daily enjoyable spending moment, I think, is a win. And I think we lose that sometimes and think it's about the money, and it's not. It's actually about what you're getting from it.
That's so funny, Jesse. We're on the same page there. This morning, I'm part of this workout group at 5 a.m., which, by the way, workout is awesome. 5 a.m. sucks.
Yes.
And it will always suck. But today, it's every Monday, Wednesday. And today, because of the fact that I'm getting back into it after the holidays, and I did both days, I promised myself that I would go get a coffee and a muffin from
Yes.
the place. So I used it. I used the latte thing, to your point, as
Yeah.
this treat. And I got to tell you, it had nothing to do with the coffee as much as it had to do with the celebration of,
Yeah.
I'm deploying, and I like, when you said being intentional with your money, I made a decision to deploy this money as a celebratory moment to go, you know what? I stuck the landing for a full week.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the moment. And to think that your day, I mean, we spend our money every single day, right? In big or small. And so to think that money, that spending, that moment is always causing us consternation. And then to think that you spend 8, 9, 10, 11 hours a day working to earn that money. So now it's like we're spending half our day earning it, hopefully some amount sleeping. And then the rest of the time we're stressed about spending the thing we spent half the day earning. And that to me is like, we're so at odds with how things could be. I hope we can change it. People, I mean, they give up time with family. They expend so much energy to earn money, and it's important. But then to think that they can't turn around and enjoy the deployment of it is a tragedy.
It totally is. Jesse, thanks for mentoring us on our spending plan today. I super appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.